I started feeling, I knew that I had this pain in my stomach, which usually you puke for the ayahuasca trip. I puked already before that, but I felt this like pain. I puked almost all trips. I felt this pain in my stomach, and it's like this energy, like every energy feels weird. When I was puking, it felt like I was puking into nothingness. And I remember just being scared if I puked on myself, because I knew logically I have a bucket in my hand, but I cannot sense if I'm puking into the bucket or it felt like it went straight through the bucket into like a black hole. And I was like, I hope I don't wake up with puke on my lap. So there was like a weird sense of being like on ayahuasca while still having like logical thoughts as well.
So you kind of you know that right now you're inside of this experience, but there is a real world outside as well that you're trying to kind of make sense of where you are and what's happening out in the real world.
But it's sort of like you forget about, you have the ability to drift, I would say. And so it's almost like I know that the world is here. And if I relax my thoughts, I will completely forget about it in 2 seconds. I'll forget about the world around me. But if I need to, I can come back to it. And so while in, let's say in the ayahuasca world, I have this pain in my stomach and I'm thinking, okay, the pain is holding me back from drifting further into it, because it's like physically making me aware of my body in a sense. And I feel like I need to drift away completely from myself to be able to experience it to the fullness I can. So I come back to my body. I look next to the girl that I was next to. I remember just seeing like her spirit. And I remember actually, I'll go to that after the I described the full trip. I remember seeing like this green colored almost like elephant head with like this long nose and like these like things that are going out here with like eyes everywhere. There was like eyes on it, like on the nose there was eyes, almost like a like I think they're in Hinduism, I imagine they had some like gods with like a lot of eyes on them, and like it had all these eyes, and it was like, wow, this is beautiful. And I remember just thinking, okay, I can't wait for when I'm finished to tell her how beautiful her spirit is, because I was like, this is so beautiful. And I was so frustrated I couldn't see my own. I come back to my body and I realized, okay, I have this like thing tying me down in my stomach. I need to get out of it. So I come up with the idea that I need to go talk with the facilitator who's across the room, because he can, this is what I thought, he can sing to me. And when he sings to me, he can trigger it to come out of me with his singing. So I need to go over so he can sing to me so I can puke, so I can go back and have the full trip. That was my plan. And so I tried to go up and take a few steps into like the center of the tibi. And I just started like, whoa, I'm completely like unable to stand on my legs. And I fall to the ground and I'm sitting there in the center. And I'm looking around trying to find him with like, because everything is so dark and everything is moving and spinning. And his brother comes up to me and I'm like, oh shit, because I get super scared of him because he has this like long hair and he's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to find Max. Can you help me? I have this in my stomach. And so he takes me to the shaman instead and tells him that I have something in my stomach. And when he looks at me, the brother of the facilitator, he has a quite like long face. And I look at him and his face turns into this like demon face with the mouth just opening up like it's trying to eat me. And I just start laughing because I know that it's like, I know that it's hallucination and it's not real. And it looks so scary, like my body is jumping back. And I can't stop smiling and laugh. And then the shaman, he tells me, this was the shaman's son, who was also developed to be a shaman. He tells me to lay down and he will suck the energy that's holding me down. He'll suck it out of my stomach and then he'll puke it out for me. And so he lays me down on my stomach and it's quite normal procedure that they do. He pours some like very specific like alcoholic perfume water onto my stomach and he's like massaging it with his mouth and starts sucking it and doing these things, and then he goes over and he pukes it out. And as he does that, I feel actually that the trip intensity goes down, and like I don't feel the high anymore as much. And I start laughing because it feels so funny when he's like stuffing my
sucking your
stomach
stomach.
basically. And I think also I farted because he was putting pressure on my stomach, and then I fart, and then I start laughing even more. So
Holy
I go
shit.
back to my spot, and I sit, and I sort of wait for the rest of the thing to be over, and I just relax. And then after, when I talk with the girl, which is such a weird thing, I asked her, "Do you know what your spirit looks like?" Because she's done so much ayahuasca, and she told me about the places she would travel and these kind of things. And then, and I think she told me that it was the face of an elephant. And I think she did say that there was a lot of eyes on the nose or something like that.
Whoa.
I just remember that the description she gave me, uh, especially with it being an elephant, I was like super surprised by how accurate it was to what I actually had seen as well.
Yeah.
I was really surprised by that.